Good evening. We are here to start the monthly town board meeting. Today is gonna be July 15th, 2024. The meeting is at the town hall and the time is, according to my watch, 6:33 PM. Call to order
Kevin Gillett,
here.
Larry Huber,
I'm here.
Jason Clahett,
Here.
Lauren Eager,
That's me.
Joe Bader, I did not know your name.
I'm Amber Hunter.
Amber Hunter, okay, and I'm Teresa Clahett here, and Dina will be coming in a little bit, so
Yeah.
we'll move her down in a little bit.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Mhm.
Let's do the pledge of allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, verification of public notice.
It was posted on our website, it was posted at our town hall, on our bulletin board, and at the clerk's office.
All right, thank you. Agenda presentation. We all have the agenda. Has anybody seen anything that they would like to?
We might want to just move, the treasurer's financial report to when Dina gets her. Beyond that, it's fine. I'd like to make a motion.
I'd second that motion.
All right. I have a motion on the table to accept the agenda as written, other than when the treasurer comes in, we'll put her in where it needs to be. And a second by Jason, all in favor?
All right.
Aye. All opposed? Hearing none, that will carry. Item number 4, approval of meeting minutes from June 17th, 2024. Has everybody had the opportunity to look at them?
Yeah, you've got that correction put in there.
Yes, I did, yep.
Okay. Yeah, I noted the correction. Yeah, I make a motion, we, approve the minutes from our June 17th, meeting.
I second that.
All right, I have a motion from Larry to accept the meeting minutes from June 17th and a second from Jason. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Hearing none, it will carry. We will then take the treasurer's report and move that as we are able to. Item number 6, public comment. Limit 3 minutes per person, 15 minutes max, and then we can respond after that.
And we have no one online with.
Nobody online?
No.
Is there?
I'm not here for any of what you guys are doing. I'm looking for a solution to an issue that I'm having. And it was recommended to bring it to the town board.
Okay, but I think this would be your moment in time right now.
I've never been to one of these.
Okay, so this is where you're able to physically talk. After that, you really can't talk unless you're asked.
Okay, I don't really know how to present this or anything. I bought a property at 7100 County Road H. And part of it borders the road, County Road O. It is behind Allen Lagoon. When we bought the property, we were told initially that the easement was between the blue homes to get to it. That has been the only access since 1995 to get to it. I do not have access through the marsh. I have been denied by the DNR and by the Door County Land Use. I have until July 30th to cease use of it because for 4 years I have dealt with trespassing, vandalism, the windows of my vehicles and the barns being shot out with 22s, 20 gauge, 12 gauge and, BB guns. I've dealt with animals being let off of chains and or cut out of where they're supposed to be, my gates being cut, blocks. The police have evidence, I showed them pictures, and they refuse to assist or support me in any possible way, and the DA sent a letter telling me not to bother them again. I have tried desperately to figure out what to do. As of the 30th, I will have no access to a place to live because I live there in the summers, because I've been trying to clean it up and rebuild on it. It was like a hoarding situation from the previous owner to me, which was William Hiddle. And, I don't know what to do.
What's your address again?
7100 County Road H. It is a private easement. We were not aware. When myself and my co-signer brought it to the title company, because they did hire a title company, from now on, I will bring an attorney into it, because I don't want this to happen again. We talked about that physical driveway. There was no mention of another easement, and they're trying to tell me that there's an easement on O that you would have to go through the marsh, but I have been denied all access through the marsh, including the Door County Land Use told me that walking access would be denied as well, because there's so many. The marsh goes anywhere from over your knees in water on the dry season up to chest height or deeper. And it's hard to tell kind of where you're at. If you follow the deer trails, you are so, okay? If you weigh a little more, you're definitely not. And if you step off of it, you're not, because I've gone up to my neck before and not been able to pull myself out without some help. I bought it to build on it because this was my life savings to put into it to try to clean it. I seen potential in it, and it has been a nightmare. I know that Leclue's initially told me that this was the driveway and how much issues they had with Hiddles, and I understand now that it really was not Hiddles' fault completely. They had been dealing with a lot of issues with the Leclue's trespassing and doing things and misuse of the police pretty much. But I've had numerous items stolen, broken, everything, and even when the police come out and they see the bullet holes and stuff, they don't do anything. They will not respond, and when I've asked for body cam footage, I get denied. And I don't know what to do.
Well, I think as far as the town board, what I'm hearing here, we don't have any jurisdiction. What you're asking for is an easement of some sort or able to cross somebody's property, which we have no jurisdiction at all. If you think anything different, please speak up, but
It's,
you know, as a builder, I don't know how they're able to, which I highly doubt, honestly, that they can stop you from getting to your property, whether it's wetlands or not. We have dealt with this a few times where legally they have to allow you access. You would have to put a driveway in, that's all on you, but
The Door County Land Use told me that because of the type of floodplain and everything that it is, I would have to have a highway engineer come in and they will deny me completely access, even if I somehow manage to get approval from the DNR that they will continue to deny me all access through the marsh. I have approached them now also for 4 years. Because I just wanted a secondary access. And right now I have none. I have no practical access whatsoever, and when they shut that down, I have no access to my business, to any of my items, to livestock, to feed. And I don't, if someone is out there, we then have no access, to have an EMT or a firefighter or anybody come in if anything happens.
yeah, but I'm not quite sure how
Interesting.
the board is.
And when I have approached, like I've talked to several attorneys, I'm looking at $100,000. I'm not joking, I wish it was, that it will cost about that much to fight this. They're trying to figure out a way to do it on principle, where like, I think that was the word that they used. I would have to be able to prove that the people that used that property prior to me used it for the 24-ish years that they owned it, and that was their main access, which it was. I have a couple letters, and his daughter said to me that that's all she remembers for access ever was that, in the many years that her dad had it prior to me. I don't know, I mean, like I said, if we go out there and anything happens, I have zero access to any type of emergency service or anything if any of that is wrong. And, dealing too with, like, I've had, this is my 4th survey coming up with Terry McNulty each time, and he will be replacing again the survey markers because S&S Egg continues to pull them out. After I have also let Randy know, and I think it was his wife's name, Diana or Deanna.
it's
Dina?
Dina.
Dina? Okay, I've talked to Randy about it and it continues to happen. And then part of my marsh too, like a 50 by 300 foot swath was just cut down. And I need to be able to try to kind of protect some of my stuff from being stolen too, and I wanna put up a fence along at least the one edge. Not along the marsh, because, you know, most people aren't gonna get through there, but they either enter from, like, the driveway I have, or they're coming through your field and stealing stuff, and it continues to be part of Hiddle's previous family, people that they had out continuously. It's none of your guys doing it. And the people in front of the clues, like, they're not stealing anything, you guys are not. It just, shit keeps getting pulled out, and I'm pretty sure it's just people operating the tractors. I know that you guys are not out there personally, it's just help that is out there. And every time I get survey done, it gets pulled out again. And I just am at my wit's end of what to do, because I don't wanna come out and have the windows shut out of my truck again. You know, or my equipment stolen. I'm at like 10,000 plus in damages and stolen equipment. Besides the fact that when they're shooting through the barns and the windows and things, we have children out there, we have people out there, and all I've done is try to clean this up. And now I can't even legally sell the place because I don't even have any access. Sorry,
Well,
I wish I didn't cry when I get frustrated, I'd much rather throw a punch someone. But we can't do that, so.
I can't look at you right now.
it's unfortunate, but
Sorry.
these are all legal matters, these are all sheriff's department issues, attorney and court issues.
When the sheriff's department refuses to do anything or acknowledge it, even contact you back. And the DA says that it doesn't matter what they do. How do you approach that?
I don't have a suggestion for you because unfortunately, I'm sorry, but I don't think anybody on this board does. I mean,
And how were you able to get a driveway or anything through a marshland or a wetland when like two places are adamantly denying you? How do you do that?
Was it landlocked when you bought it?
Yes, so legally, they say it's not because the marsh runs along County O. But there's no practical access, and I found out legal access means even if you're dead center in front of, say you're on a bluff. And all these properties surround this property you buy. Your legal access is that bluff, even though it's not practical. And they do not, because you have that border there, the surrounding properties are not actually required to give you an easement because you are not legally landlocked, even though you practical access is. And I don't know what else to do. But I am tired of paying for surveys and tired of paying for damage, and I don't know what else to do.
I'm not sure how to help you.
Yeah, I don't have any.
Isn't an easement apply? Don't you apply for an easement?
Well, you'd have to apply for the driveway. Again, you're dealing with wetlands. It cannot be
But
disturbed.
what I'm asking is, when was that easement
It
that
was
she has now applied for?
Once it's done.
January 1995, with Steve Volt, which I have talked to him too, and,
Was it?
June 1995 is when William Hiddle took it over. That's the property, I don't know if you have ever been in the tractors or anything, where it's just loaded with junk. Abandoned cars and campers and things. I've cleaned a lot of that out. I have spent roughly $30,000 of my own money with my own equipment and time in cleaning up parts of it, and it still is gonna be a 2 to 3 year project going besides to get the rest of it cleaned up. But it is just, I don't know, I cannot get through the marsh. They will not allow access due to,
So the easement was through Steve Wolf?
yeah, it's where you guys, you put in a new driveway, and so you guys have different access because the equipment was too large to fit through where Alan LeClue is. So if you're on County O and then the corner of County H, there's a home on the corner, which is Dale LeClue, and then there's a trailer that belongs to Dale that's been condemned. There's a 2-story home that was Mrs. LeClue's house, and she passed away, and then I think Scott lives there, and then Alan lives on the other side. And nothing was an issue with them until I put cameras up to find out who was coming in. And then, they freaked out and told me you can't have cameras, and I said, well, if you guys aren't doing anything wrong, it should not matter, I'm just trying to see who's coming in and dumping things and taking things, because I understand that they used it as a dumping ground for a lot of times, and people ran drugs out of there and everything else, but that's not me, and I want to clean up. And it has been an issue, because I have got Dale on camera harassing my dog's neck was slashed, like. I have constant theft and constant things being shot through, and now I did not know that the title company never switched that easement in my name, and I found out through their attorney as of about 5 weeks ago, and I will have no access to anything and no place to live, because I stay there in the summers in my camper. I have a porta potty out there, and I have it so that the well I can, it's like a cistern pump until we start building, and I had plans already to have a well put in. Have septic done, and I have all of my building materials to build a home. And so in the summer times, I don't have a place to live until winter. And in 15 more days, I will not have a way to feed livestock that is out there and no place to live. I'll be completely homeless and no access to my personal business either, which is my semi truck and my equipment for construction either. So my whole business is shut down right now because all the money I have is going to try to find an attorney and try to take care of all of this.
I don't know what to tell you. Unfortunately.
Well, the attorneys won't touch it because Bay Title is so large nationwide. So every time I do talk to someone, they spend hours speaking to me and then tell me you have a case, but we can't do it because of interest with the company. Because Penn Title is not Peninsula Title, they're Bay Title. They're, it's a parent company that owns these other businesses. And I was hoping you guys might have a suggestion, especially with them using it for over 20 years, if there was a way to find out how to get letters or something or proof, because Bill Hiddle died 2 years ago and his ex-wife died last year. Nothing besides one daughter that recently just went back to prison for drugs, and one daughter that is out of prison and has been nice enough to actually write something for me, but I don't know people here, not from here. I really keep to myself. Nobody wants to step in and say anything because they don't want to be dragged into things, you know? And honestly, if I could offload the property, I would, but now I can't even legally sell it. I found that out too because of all of this. Even if I wanted to give it back to the Clues, I can't even do that. And at this point, I'm about $80,000 out.
Unfortunately, I don't think we're able to help you.
It's a town that we have.
Right, we don't have any legal authority in any way, shape or form. Once you hit past the right of way, it's all private, it's all police, it's all courts.
Yeah. And land use is controlled by the county.
Yeah, well, it wouldn't even matter at that point. As soon as you hit wetlands, it's automatically DNR and it's automatically zoning. So,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I mean, that's so far above us that.
that's why I talked to the DNR and they said no. And they told me that I would have to speak with Door County Land Use and, which is soil and water and everything, and I have been absolutely, like, imminently denied. They said at no.
Just
reason-
recently you talked to them?
I've talked to them several times. I talked to them because I wanted to at least have a secondary access, you know, in case, so that it would be easier for me to get in and out with the semi truck too. I was denied 4 years ago. I was denied a couple years ago last year.
But you were asking for a secondary.
Ask for a primary.
Well, that would be my primary, which I did show them that this other one is a private easement, and they again told me no. they told me that I would have to speak to somebody else and.
Try to go back, there's new people in there now.
I was there, 2 weeks ago, and they told me no, it was a taller man, about my age, probably 40.
In planning department or?
Yeah, he told me no, they said no, that there will be no access, even if if I can convince the DNR to give me access, that they will imminently deny me. And he told me that if I need a letter stating so, he will provide that, but they will not work with me for it because of the type of wetland it is. Because it is a true wetland and not just a marsh. So there is standing water, ponds, various things, and I cannot fill a pond in. They will not let me do anything with it. So, no access.
Well, we don't really have any authority, and I don't mean to be, I don't know what to tell you. Other than we gotta continue to move on with the meeting,
Yeah,
but.
that's fine.
Real estate, that's more area.
Right.
I'm out on that.
Something, get a lawyer from out of the area.
What I'm gonna do and still,
That
because
would
it's
that'd be
based
my
on.
personal recommendation.
I talked to Green Bay, I talked down in Manitowoc, I've called like Milwaukee, I've called a few places and, they consistently tell me no because Bay Title is nationwide and they have continued to work with other people and this is the reason that they can't because of how large this parent company is. It would be the equivalent of Fincantieri, how they own out of the country and they own almost, they own like 80% of the shipyards throughout the United States and the world and, you're dealing with a large company that owns small companies and you can't sue the small company because their parent company is who owns them. And because these people have all at one time or another worked with them or against them, that you can't. So every place that tells me, they've given me recommendations and I have legitimately gone through everybody. And it has been, I've been quoted retainers between $10,000 to $50,000. And I'm gonna take this on. At a minimum, I am looking at 100,000 to take care of the easement. And, land use told me that if I were to be able to go through the marsh, I would be looking at 300,000 plus. Because of the engineering needed.
Alright, well, unfortunately, we can't really help you with that. I'm sorry to say that, but. We will move on to the next thing, okay?
Yeah.
If we had a suggestion or any way, we definitely give it to you. All right. We will then move on to treasurer financial report.
Okay, in the town checking, we have $1,391.52. The money market, we have $12,686.80. The broadband account, we have $15,650. The fire department escrow CD is $135,371.31. The cemetery account, we have $14,333.65, and the LGIP general, we have $200,072.75. I have one question. So the Bank of Luxembourg money market is made up of the cemetery and the broadband, which you can see doesn't add up to that. So do you want me to start pulling the stuff out of LGIP, or are we okay to borrow it from there?
Well, it's our money.
And the reason I'd say that is because the interest rate is so much better in the LGIP.
Right.
We get a lot more interest out of there if we keep it in there, but it's also borrowing from the other two accounts.
So you have the checking account
Yep,
and the money market account.
yep. So the money market account is supposed to be made up of well, the broadband account and the cemetery account is included in that Bank of Luxembourg account. But as you can
Okay.
see, it doesn't add up to that,
Right,
so we're actually negative if you actually look at it. So I don't know if you wanted kept, so we keep that amount of money in there and pull it out of the LGIP.
well, the LGIP basically is where we get most of our funds through.
Right, but I'm just saying, every time I transfer from the LGIP, it costs us $25.
Do we know what the shortfall is on a routine, regular basis? That's the question. Because we have to, for regular expenses. How often do we, how much a month do we have to draw out?
It depends, like this month was about 20,000. Last time it was like 50 or 30,000, it depends, that was a payroll time, so. But I like pulling a bigger amount, because we're paying $25, I wanna make it worth our time of paying that
Well, right,
$25.
and that's why I'm asking that question. Because if you know what your monthly cost, what your monthly need is
Right,
from our, and this is our monies that come.
right,
So if we know what the monthly need is, let's say for 2 months,
pull for 2 months
and
and then,
then
okay,
one payroll.
Yep.
So you would do that 4 times a year.
Yep.
It'd cost you net $100.
right,
It makes more sense to me. Granted, we're losing maybe a month or 2 of interest on it, but that way you're not having to always face the issue of trying to make this balance.
right,
So, to me, that's a call that you'd have to make.
yeah. I just wanted, I mean, I just don't wanna pull every month and pay $25.
No, and what I'm suggesting is do it on a quarterly basis.
Okay,
And then you could estimate pretty close to
Sure.
what our expenses are gonna be for the 3-month period.
Yep.
And then just do that.
okay,
I mean, that'd be your role.
Yep.
So that would be my recommendation.
Yeah, I don't see an issue with that either.
Does that make
Makes
sense?
sense to me, yeah.
okay, I will do that.
And we don't have any receivables.
No.
That's clean.
Well, that's the other question I have. So we got billed on the highway department for whatever they did to the ball field,
I paid that.
but do we pay that or does the Maplewood?
We pay it and then bill
Reimburses.
from the.
Right, but is it all of it or is it half of it?
What did they do? Did they roll the field?
I don't know, it just says Maplewood hardball field surface maintenance.
Roll the field.
Yeah, flip
That
it over
roll
to
the
show
field?
some, what they did. The hours and.
I was
Yeah, we
looking,
pay that and then we submit the bill, or we submit a,
I did, yeah, I remember that, but I couldn't remember if we paid
Well, I
half and
think
they
pay
paid
for the
half?
grass cutting as well,
Yeah,
too. I
something
think
like that.
part.
They paid for the grass cutting?
No,
I
we
don't
paid
know
for
about
the.
that, but it's,
For the ballpark, I thought they did.
Well, then we don't get the bill for it,
No.
because
I thought we had to kind of road it down.
Yep.
Donna doesn't, but we pay Dobner every month.
Yeah.
we've never billed them for grass cutting,
Not for the grass cutting, but
The
for
rolling.
rolling.
all of it.
Yeah,
Okay,
because
Okay.
they're.
I knew we billed them something, I
Okay.
just couldn't remember if it was all of it or half of it.
Okay,
Okay, so they pay all of it.
so you need a.
Okay, so that would be the only thing you'd have to bill them for is
I will,
that.
I'll send them an invoice. Yeah, we pay it.
For that. this
So
month,
did
yeah.
you receive some monies for driveway permits?
Yes,
There should have been 2 of them. right?
yes,
Okay,
yes.
just wanted to clarify. Because as I get into the road thingy, one gentleman said, well, it took my money, but I couldn't get which I'll be meeting with him on.
Yeah, that was the email I
Yes,
think that I
yes,
sent you.
You've seen me respond back. or
Yes,
whatever.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to verify that, yes, we did receive the money, cause he's like, says it took the money.
Yeah, yeah,
Was that through the gut?
Got-
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause I
That,
saw
we
it
have,
too.
we have to figure out
We need
something
to-
different about that, because there's more people using that now.
Yes.
And when it comes on my bank statement, it just says strike.
Yeah.
I have no idea who it's for, where it came from,
Oh,
what it's for.
identification to it.
I need
Yeah.
something to
Gotcha.
know how to
Say
put it
again,
in our
somehow
books.
Yeah.
So what I did is like, if they do it for a dog license, I literally write a ticket or a receipt out
Okay,
and just put credit card.
sure, sure.
So I
You
have a
can get
receipt.
access to the payments.
I
to see the
tried, but do you
payments.
know what happened? Like,
Well-
I have paid $75 as on the Stripe. It shows 50 on the HayGov.
It doesn't include the security deposit on Hagop, even though we take the full
Well-
125. It just shows like the rental of the town hall 75.
It does,
Yeah, but it should have been 125 because that's what,
right,
took-
because of 50,
for the
Okay.
security deposit.
the security deposit, which is refunded
Right,
through that system, so they don't put it this way.
but
We'll
Tina
have to spend
needs to
some
know the
time-
full dollar amount in order to record it, because we
Right.
are actually receiving 150 or
Do you-
125.
But it's by date, right? It's identified by date?
But it doesn't
Yeah.
come into my account on that same date.
No, it doesn't. It
So
comes
that's
over
where I
few
get a little,
days late.
yeah.
Is there a report or something we can run in Hagov or
I think there might be,
something?
so we can pursue that a little further.
Okay.
We'll have to get together. I'm not gonna be able to get together with you on that.
That's fine.
Something.
But I know Ruth always did too, is whenever something came in, doesn't matter if it was a check, cash or credit card,
Mhm.
she would write a little receipt.
Oh, I haven't been
Right.
doing that.
Yeah,
Okay,
and then she'd give that to me.
okay.
So that way you had a way of knowing.
Yes,
Oh,
so I
okay.
have a way of knowing who's
Let
paying
me
and
make a note to start doing
what's
that.
coming through.
So
So,
that would be a big help, because as soon as it comes through, see it,
yes,
Okay.
and then you know what it's, or you're let know what it
Yeah.
was.
It should be able to get right in the Stripe account, it should have.
Yeah.
that.
I looked, but it doesn't,
I didn't, I
it
don't.
doesn't make sense to me when I tried, look, that's why I texted Teresa, I'm like, what is this? Because I received
Yeah.
$75,
But for what?
but the Stripe said 50 when I looked on the.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
In the-
Hagov says 50,
yes.
like under bookings too.
Yeah.
It doesn't show the full dollar amount. So I sent you that email, that picture of that.
Yeah, yes,
You're right,
yeah.
it just showed like the booking amount, not with including the deposit.
so when I go down into here,
Cause like in the Venmo or the PayPal Cash App, it shows
see,
the transaction.
here's, well, I can push this up to the screen,
Yeah, I see that.
maybe. There it is.
Okay.
So here are your, HC payments,
Mhm.
okay? These are the ones most recent.
Oh, I wasn't looking in here.
Yep.
I was looking in all bookings.
That's not, when you look at the bookings,
Yeah.
I'm looking at the pay. I'm looking at this stuff
Why
right
is
here.
there only 91? Oh, that's the fee. So the amount is 20 and then 91.
Right, 91 cents. That's what we get.
Oh.
Dina,
See where it
this-
says 75 cents. So, $75, it said $75 there now.
Because, oh, I wasn't looking on the screen, I was looking on the all booking screen. This is the
But
ACH payments.
you're in the administration.
Right,
Yeah,
I'm
I
at
don't
the
have that.
administration, and
Right.
I may have to. give
I
you
don't have
access.
that.
I don't know, do I have that? I couldn't find that.
I wasn't looking here.
Right, that's some stuff you don't want.
Administration?
Do I
Well,
have
there's
it?
6 members, so it's gotta be all of us.
No,
No,
yeah,
I have
you're a
it.
member,
Oh, I don't,
But there's.
And-
Jason does.
yeah.
you've got admin rights.
Oh,
You have
no,
it
you're
in
an so you're the admin, we can't see that. We're only a member,
Yeah.
so Teresa can,
Oh,
but I can't.
you need to be a member,
So you
Or
need to have access to that.
yeah. There we go.
And Dina needs, now she's department admin,
Yep, good.
and
That'll give me the
Teresa,
same thing as
you
your
have-
admin. Hago
Hey,
admin?
admin, do you wanna be department admin on that? Did you-
Is
Could you
Hago
see
better
that?
than?
I was just looking at the booking screen, so I didn't look at the ACH payment screen.
Why put you two both
I
down?
just look, because that's
as
what I deal with.
department admin,
Okay,
so we can change those like that,
okay.
all right? Now, these admins can actually
Yeah,
change.
that's,
The
Thomas is your
screens.
guy that.
This is the guy I work with. Between he and I, we maintain
So
the,
what did you go to find that?
now you go over here
So you just click on that little.
And then you go up to, this is the old strike way we were doing it. That ended when we went into the automated clearinghouse work. And we went to automated clearinghouse. This is where we're now getting it. And you can see all the payments. I think there's only, so far 14 of them. It started in March.
Okay,
You always get them up on top like this. So we've had 4 payments so far in July.
okay.
Okay?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that Elaine
That,
would.
yeah.
Green
So-
one I don't have.
ACC-5, is that
You said.
That's a permit request.
that's the code for that?
ACC 5 is this one
So they're
here.
basically telling her right away in the notes what that's for.
And you have access to this. So this form has been, that's the form that was completed. This is the one that I think is still in progress, is it not?
Yeah, I'm gonna be meeting with them as we go down.
Okay, that's fine. And then you have to issue the permit. Okay, so in this particular case, that is the permit itself. And that's under licenses. So if we go back, we find those. So you can just see, they always put the top 5 down here, but you can go down in individual ones if you want.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah, I don't think, yeah, hopefully.
so well, I did the wrong thing there. didn't I?
Okay, well, we'll still do
Okay.
both until we're comfortable with it.
Okay.
So this is our daily activity log. Anyway,
So does that answer your question and help you in what you need?
I hope so.
Okay.
it shows.
Randy heard it earful last time.
Okay,
Anything else as far as the treasurer's report here?
well, I'd make a motion, we accept the treasurer's report.
I second that.
All right, I have a motion from Larry to accept the treasurer's report and a second from Jason. All in favor?
All right.
Aye. All opposed? Hearing none, that will carry. We will now move down to the fire department, report.
Oh, I didn't wanna be rude and I wasn't sure.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah, you're welcome to say, but it's up to you if you wanna come or go however you want.
Yeah, it's up to you.
All right, Lauren.
All right, our last meeting was last Wednesday, July 10th. In the treasurer's report, you say you're ready?
Yeah.
The $11,895.79 in checking. $182,716.16 in our money market.
See, I'm on camera.
That's
Thank you.
in the 4 CDs that we have in Capital Credit Union, which are gaining us 5%, there is $208,392. And I apologize, I don't have the cents, but there's 99 different. So for a total, $403,003.95.
Got it.
In the chief's report, the chief reported 2 fire calls. That's been our average lately, 2 to 3 calls per month. June 20th, 3909 Park Drive, mutual aid to Nassau. Flames coming from behind the house. It was determined to be a controlled burn. Not sure if we were called off on the way there or if we made it all the way there, not sure. July 1st, 7522 County H electrical fire on the control panel for the Maplewood Sanitary District.
Oh,
A capacitor had failed and sparked fire on the control panel. The fire was out upon arrival. The department turned the scene over to the Maplewood Sanitary District staff. only three EMR calls since June 12th. So both our numbers are considerably down from where we were when we were in cooperation with Nassau. The chief, in the chief's notes, training in July will be with Algoma Fire Department for water shuffle with hydrants. Now, that's not something we normally use out in the country as hydrants, but it still is nice to the firemen to train using fire hydrants.
Well, I think that shared fire departments, that might become important at some point in time.
So it's always nice to be up on that. The department attended and participated at the Eric Weber funeral. Eric Weber was a former Southern Door Fire Department fireman who went with the Nassau, stayed with the Nassau Department. We provided coverage at the Nassau station all day, so the Nassau Fire Department could go to the funeral and whatnot. Also, along with Bug Fire Department, Egg Harbor, we all stood watch at Nassau for the day. We sent 2 trucks to the Algoma Fire Department 150th anniversary parade. We have received the VIN number for the new brush truck. The brush truck that was ordered 4, 5, 6 months ago. We have received the VIN number. No delivery date has been given, but it's somewhere between Mexico and here. That's where the truck is. Right? So if you remember, the truck was 53,000. And the insert for the back, which is the tank, the pumps, the tools, the whatever slides into the back of the truck, was 56,000. For a total of that's 109,000. Now, remember the firemen are donating, buying this truck and donating it to the department, and right now they have $112,000 in their fire department fund. So there will be all the monies that they've raised over the past years are going into purchasing this truck, so. The chief notified us that our air packs, now our air packs are the masks that are to fit on the firemen. And these masks, as of December 16th, they've been notified by it's NIOSH, which is just some kind of state department or whatever, notified that on December 16th, these are no longer they will no longer be certified. So we have to purchase, we believe we have 15 or 16 now, but chief says we can possibly get away with 12 of these air packs at the first estimate of about 9,000 a piece. Ooh. Yeah. Oof. Oof. Now some of these, the 2 of the air packs, he mentioned that they can outfit the masks with thermal imaging instead of having to carry around a thermal imaging gun. It'll be right in the mask.
And what will that cost you?
Well, those cost a little more than the
Really? You'd be surprised.
right, than the 9,000. The first estimate was around 9,000. They got 2 different firms they're looking at. One is MSA and one is 3M Scott. So we're obviously letting both companies come in and give us an estimate on the price of these air packs. So 12 for sure, the way it sounds. 12 times 9 is 108.
108,000.
Right. So in his notes here, it says need to discuss funding options. So we will obviously be talking about that in the future. Wait for that, especially with the budget coming up. Again, we're hosting the stop for the fire and iron motorcycle ride on September 7th, stopping at 2 o'clock in Forestville. Food and raffles, and we get to keep the proceeds, whatever we can have donated from the riders. The firefighters picnic is July 27th. Please attend and enjoy the festivities.
You think we could get 108,000 for that, right?
I don't think we can get 8,000.
Wishful thinking.
We did go over some of our preliminary budget numbers, and from the way it looks is we're running about 73% of our budget with about only a couple months to go, 3 months to go. There's one employee payroll to come out of there yet, but we will also be bringing in money from the July tax revenues. So we're at 73%, which isn't bad. We're doing really well for not knowing where we were gonna be
For the first year.
for the first year in operation.
Right.
So. There's been discussion along with the village of Forestville to install a backup generator at the fire department. The backup generator would be for long-term power outages in the community, like we kind of went through back in a couple months ago. The village actually brought it to our attention that they would be possibly even interested in going in on purchasing part of this generator. So far an estimate is about 13,000 for the generator, but then of course we have to update our electrical panel in the fire department, and that's about 2,900, so the total would be about 15,900. So, but the village, like I said, they're looking into possibly.
Are they looking as an emergency sheltering?
That's a wise investment.
Yeah.
You guys should probably go a little bit bigger than the generator.
Well, it's the 10,000 hour generator.
Yeah.
So it should be plenty.
Okay.
Well, some of it's gonna come into the funding, right? I'm assuming.
Well,
that's-
yeah, we're gonna talk more about the funding. It all depends.
Right.
You know, we put that kind of in the village's hands to see what they're gonna do with funding or whatever, because they brought it to our attention. Because they were thinking about at first putting it at the village hall, the library in
Because
Forestville.
ultimately, they have the advantage, if something happens, the village takes the advantage of having that there.
Having a station there too.
Yeah,
Right, so we're not outfitted with showers or anything
right,
either, so.
right.
There'll be talks on that. And then we got a couple estimates for the blacktop. The blacktop at the station in Forestville is cracking. There's chunks ready to fall out. We've had it resealed in the past. And with the amount of rain and amount of rain we've had this spring and summer, up to 12 hours later, there is water seeping out of these cracks yet running down across the. So we got an estimate from the county and Northeast Asphalt, but they weren't apples to apples, so we're having Northeast Asphalt redo their estimate so that we can compare. So. So the
So are
county,
you thinking that they would take it out,
yes,
put new,
yes.
regrade, base, sub-base, okay?
Right.
That'd be almost the only way to really solve.
Yeah, I'm just curious of what the thought pattern was there.
Two 2-inch layers of blacktop.
Yeah, 4 inches. is
For
good.
4 inch, as long as all there's a good base down below with the base compacted beforehand,
Right.
so. So the counties came in about 40%. So that's still another expense, but yeah. Other than that, any questions?
Your blacktop, have you considered decent?
We did put a call into them and the guy never got back.
Rick doesn't own it anymore, it would be Ryan Kraus and, Joey Star.
Right, somebody was in contact with Joey.
Okay,
Yeah.
I would contact Ryan,
Terry Manaldi was in contact with Joey.
okay, I would definitely contact Ryan, because Joey
Right.
sometimes forgets, you know.
Ryan Kraus.
Yeah.
All right, anything else, Lauren?
Oh, nothing.
Okay, thank you.
I appreciate you guys showing up on the 3rd of July.
Not a problem.
It's part of your training. You now understand.
The guys put that down for,
They should. Because, they don't get a chance to see where where the storage is, and that's the important piece that gave it an incident.
Is that the LC stuff?
Oh, yes, but then you also know not where to go, where not to.
We got a few places like that, I know.
Yeah.
Where we don't go there.
But they didn't have to do anything, and we didn't have any issues, so that was good.
So thanks for
Great year. Very nice. All right, item number 8, Maplewood Sanitary District.
We received the minutes from the sanitary district, but we should be noticed that there's a posting outside the bulletin that the rates are gonna be
A
increasing.
few 100%.
Well, according to them, the rates haven't been done since 1984. But this is
This
the
is from the
notice,
Public Service Commission, right?
yeah, this is the notice saying that it's gonna be a Zoom meeting on the 31st, and there's a link and all that,
Right,
so.
but they're saying here, if the request is granted, then water bills for the average customer who uses 3,000 gallons of water a month is gonna increase from $27.59 to $115.21, or a 317.58% increase. That's what they're asking for.
I didn't read it.
But the water, the
Yeah.
commission has to approve that.
That's right.
Great.
So that's what this hearing is at the end of the month.
Okay,
And that's a public, that's a PSC, Public Service Commission.
right, correct,
And so that's where the question's going to come from.
okay.
Now, wait a minute, this is a,
That was included with their bill this month,
This is
along with the
their,
minutes. I think that's what's posted on our
okay,
bulletin board.
but this is the water quality.
I'm not sure, I didn't really
Yeah.
look, I just got that today in the mail and they quickly made out the check, so.
Yeah, this is their water,
Sure, yeah, the test results.
test results, yeah.
Sure, I'm sure this way here, everybody can
Right,
have a copy.
that's,
Okay. Well, at least we know what's going on there.
Yeah.
They end up raising it, well. Gotta get passed through the state first.
yes.
Cemetery report?
I had one inquiry from California for a potential burial at Brockhausen of Maine's, not, just cremation from a Perry, descendant of Perry's. I talked at some length with the gentleman, and it's not an imminent need, but I still have to find out whether or not, I know where the plot is out in Brockhausen, and I'm just gonna have to get back to him, and I told him if it's not an imminent need, I'll get back to you by September. So that's what's gonna happen.
I think that is,
Go with you on that? Just how you go when you look
Yeah.
for pots and start doing it,
Sure.
because I mean,
Right, no
no offense, I mean, we should start.
thinking about that, you bet.
Okay.
So yes, I'll let you and Jeff know. When I go down, we have to look for it.
because I think that individual called me and I said,
Jeff? Yes,
whoever the person. Was, I said,
Yeah.
I said, Larry, the guy, here's his name and number, and give him a call. I
his
said,
name is Jeff Perry.
I can only tell you where the cemetery is. I don't know any more than that.
I have all of it.
Correct.
We were able to converse, so
Perfect. Thank you.
we'll get back to it.
All right, item number 10, broadband update. I don't know that there's a whole lot just because of the state, but
Well, there is some activity, if you're aware of what's going on in the highway and in many of our back roads, it appears that Brightspeed is burying additional fiber all over the town. So we're gonna see more orange conduit and more fiber being drawn in. They were from my place, my daughter's place
yeah. I see
today.
it.
And when I had some conversation with Brightspeed themselves with regard to at last month's meeting, where are we, what's going on? I talked to Jessica Hatch, the Door County broadband coordinator, and nobody has information on how the Public Service Commission is going to dole out these the bids for the work. However, because we did make, pass a resolution, and we were one of the 4 communities that did. It appears, although you can't get an answer from anybody, but it appears that Brightspeed is making further investment in their infrastructure to support what it is they want to do should they win the award. And of course, we're the only ones that stood up and said we wanted to put money on the table. And so they're doing some of their expansion work in the Brussels station, not all, no. So it's more infrastructure going in, but no clarity as to who and how much and why. But it's obviously Brightspeed is investing the monies. So I've been in contact with Brightspeed. I've been in contact with Jessica. Talked with Roy, our representative on that ad hoc committee, and he just wanted me to know where things were. So, because he'd been on town for it's moving along, but we may not hear much before the fall. Out with that.
Well, they
Volume 2.
the state has to do their.
Right.
Nobody can do anything until that happens.
Right.
Well, or very little anyway.
Yeah. So that's private investment from Brightspeed, as far as I can tell.
All right, perfect.
And the AGov is getting lots of activity recently here.
Yeah.
So we're all still learning because it's a process.
Yeah.
The monies are flowing when they use it. And we get the notifications, you get the notifications. So it's going to be just a matter of becoming more comfortable.
Using it.
Using it.
Yeah.
So then there's some changes on it. Now, there's some upgrades to the clerk minutes.
Okay.
And I suspect in the next month or 2, we'll get that consolidated, but I have nothing else on.
All right, perfect. Thank you. Item number 12, correspondence. Approval of Class B retail license for Holy Name of Mary and operator's license for Tom Sawyer. I'm assuming that's for the.
That's for their picnic. Yep, that came. Missy Masser dropped it off in my mailbox, so the picnic is
This weekend.
this
This weekend,
weekend,
yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I got a call from her. Yep. And, here's one check. The other check is gonna be.
So I don't see any
So-
issue with.
That's every year.
Yeah, for the annual thing, just like Shanny Days and Belgian Days.
Yeah.
Looks good to me, I mean.
Do we
Yeah.
need a motion
You
on
need
that?
a signature or a motion?
I think you need a signature.
I
You need a
think
motion too, so I'll make a motion to,
someone needs to sign by the officer.
well, that'd be okay.
Yeah.
But I'll make a motion to approve the Class B retailer's license for the Holy Name Mary picnic and the operator's license for Tom Sawyer.
I'll second that.
All right. I have a motion on the table to give the Class B retailer's license for the Holy Name of Mary from Jason and a second from Larry. All in favor? All opposed? Hearing none, it will carry. Do I need a date? Oh, date.
Yeah. Fine, never do with this.
There you go.
Perfect.
Okay. So that took care of the Class B. Now we have the associated appraisal. Did you can look at that?
Yeah, this, basically, what I saw when I got this thing, this is the letter, cover letter for it. Was a notice of non-renewal under their original provisions.
Correct, that's exactly how I understood it.
Yep, and this is a proposal with their new, structure.
And what the contract basically is going to be for the thing, which I'm sure that didn't sound like it really changed. But the problem was,
The annual amount.
here it is, we have made every effort to minimize the price increase for you due to the increase in business cost over the past 3 to 5 years. A received amount was necessary, or a revised amount was necessary. Attached for your consideration is a new 3-year maintenance assessment service contract for your signature. So that's basically what they're telling you.
Right.
in a nutshell. So the cost now for 2025, they're looking at 11,000. And then they're gonna up it 500 for 2026. And then another 500 from that for 2027, so it'll be 12,000. I'm not 100% sure how the numbers come out to what we
Looks
actually,
like we're paying 8,000 now,
Mhm.
because that's what this check is for, and it's the same amount every month.
Yeah,
So that times 12 is $8,000. So that's quite a big increase.
but I'm not sure who else you get to deal with
Right,
that, how
yeah.
do you deal with that?
Yeah.
And the amount of time you
Very
have is like limited here as they just hand this to you in a short amount of
They're
time.
pretty much the only game in town, so.
They are. And the
Oh,
other
you-
issue is we're going to have to be facing a full assessment.
Correct, that doesn't even include that, that's
No, it
not
doesn't.
even
And
close.
that's gonna happen
exactly.
next year.
So it's choice A or it's choice A.
Miles says.
So
Okay.
I don't think there's much we can say or do about it.
I mean, you don't wanna be without it.
Right.
No,
Really can.
no, we can't.
Legally, we can't.
So to that end, I would, make a motion that we, enter
Accept it.
into this contract, yes.
I second that.
All right, I have a motion from Larry to accept the updated contract pricing for associated appraisals and consultants. And a second from Jason, all in favor? Aye. All opposed? Hearing none, that'll carry.
Okay, I'll need a signature then.
Now, to sign the bottom, one of them.
Do you have the one you want me to sign?
That's
This
the
here?
one right there, yes, thank you.
Okay. As far as correspondence, I had received another correspondence, which I think you have all had. Which just came, is the comprehensive zoned towns. So what this is way, way up north. They are looking for the townships to either agree or disagree. What this is, what do they call this thing, the Heartland 10. Okay,
That's up in Liberty Grove.
right, it's Liberty Grove and the one right below it, Township. So the only townships being affected by this would be those only two. So what it was is somebody had 10 acres of land and a big garage, and he wanted to do his mechanic business, and they said, nope, you can't do it. Well, the township said, yes, you can. Well, now they're in lockup, whatever. So this has been multiple of years. You can't do anything, the towns don't really have any say. So they're asking us what our opinion is. This is what my response basically was to that, saying, we agree with Liberty Grove. The township should be able to pretty much, you know, go with it. If you guys like that, you know, give it
Definitely.
to our clerk, she can sign it and send it to Kristen and in support of the township. And again, the only ones that is going to affect
Are those that
is
are.
those two up there. But it'll change it for here. We don't have Heartland 10 anywhere from there down. Oh,
Right.
kind of an irrelevant,
I agree with that.
okay. I will give this to you
Okay, perfect, we'll sign it and.
and you can make that go back.
Yep.
So that is
Thank
done dealt with. Let's see what other correspondence I had here. Just to let you guys know, the North American, I'm sure you've seen the email come, right? This is for the road request of bids available and you had a whatever. I just wanna let the board know that I sent this immediately when I received it over the
These
Tyler.
guys?
No, that's this one, that's coming. So this is a request, right? So anybody can request the bid,
Oh, I see.
okay? legally, legally. So I sent that over to the people we're paying, which is the engineering firm, Stantec. Stantec took care of it. So it's out of our ballpark and it's all done. Just to give you an update, you know what I mean, of what's there. That might be where I am. I think we're gonna jump down to roads, because some of these kind of go hand in hand with the road /work, some of these other things here. So we'll carry that on down. But just in case Joe would like to go out of here. We will look at, we're gonna go to item number 13, roads and road work. Ditch cutting. So Joe, you had a couple things you wanted to talk about,
Yeah.
and then you'll give us some paperwork.
Concern on, I'm pretty sure, well, you guys just had me done. I don't know,
42
yeah. When they shouldered it. They obviously don't want to shoulder, so we can only cut for wings, but we can't get any farther. There's just no way possible. I tried on the north side, or no, maybe the south side. Take my back mower and try and grade it out, so at least we have a slope put on. And nothing, wreck my mower, I ain't gonna do any more. So now all we're gonna give you is just a wing cut. Cause we cannot get down in that ditch.
You know, but looking at that, because I went and looked at it after you talked to me about that, I see exactly what you're saying. But in order for the county to try and put some more,
They didn't have to put some more, all they had to do was do what I did.
you're saying graded at an angle, a little bit more of a degree from the ditch line.
I mean, you've seen, you went down, you've seen, and this is gone. Now it's just a roller. They have the equipment to do that.
Now, this is on Old Elm Road between 42 and Mill?
42 and
H
O.
or O.
Oh.
Yeah.
Deep ditches.
So what they did is, right, where you go through that swamp section, right, so the gravel is, right, they pushed it and it is what it is, however it went, that's.
Oh, they just let it go. Hang on.
Well, yeah, you have
Yeah, so.
you have the shoulder, but then at that point,
It drops right off.
right,
And I'm not gonna be able to get that out of it. If we go down in it, we're not gonna get that out unless you tear up.
Right.
I mean, it's just gonna be a mess.
I think, you know, I looked at that, I seen there's absolutely brushing that needs to be done in there,
Mhm.
but that's an arm.
Yep.
That is never gonna be with a mower.
Nope. But you seen what we had to leave, huh?
I did,
It just sucked. We're finally getting you guys to go farther and farther back. Now, when you guys get, and it's not just in your town, it's in every town that we're in, that the county does a road. They screwed up for us, and then you guys are left with a mess because now we're cutting back shorter, now the brush will start growing back.
Yeah.
So it's, I'm trying, like, the town of Union wanted to get after them because Truway Road, they really messed up. For us, I mean, it's just a total mess. And same thing for. They gotta put in a little bit more effort. I mean, in their bid, they gotta put in a little bit more effort to grade it down. You know, they gotta think about the next. So the next guy, meaning it's you guys are gonna end up paying for it. Because brushing is expensive. Yeah, and when you can only get 6 feet. You know, that brushing is gonna keep on growing back. But that's the only problem we have. Everything else went really good. No tires, no nothing, not this time.
you pick them up.
Good.
Joe, do you think because the blacktop was ground off and not hauled away from the road,
Raise the road.
raises the road 2.5, 3 inches, do you suggest maybe future road projects to haul that blacktop away?
Well, I suggest like for the town of Union, when they ground it, save that, use that for sure. Instead of spending $80,000 in gravel. Use your crushed up.
Well, the thing is when they're doing these roads in those areas, we want it brought up. You had water problems coming over, we were way
It
too
was
low
out
to
there,
begin.
correct, but there might be other instances where you're just putting another 2.5 inches.
You're
2 inches
raising the
on,
road.
raising the road.
Which I'm no road builder, so I'm just telling you what we run into. And it's just a mess for. Especially like if our tractor slips down in there, well, now we're gonna end up chewing up the blacktop, trying to get the tractor out. So it's just a lose-lose situation. If you just put a little bit more effort, maybe a little bit more on the estimate. You're gonna know, we used to do
Well,
it.
I think we could just talk to them and I'll just talk to that and say, hey, is there a way of, when we hit that top of the shoulder approach, come, is, you know, whatever, if that's a little more rough, it's a little more rough, but
But I remember last year, going up to Town Garden. In Glen Merkel, said they used to drag a chain back behind the grader when they had shoulder, and that'd be just enough to knock it down. I can't do that. I mean, a little more, because you see, my roller did, I mean, now it's,
Yeah.
that's nice, now we can get in and get out.
well, I'll make a note and I'll talk with Thad or Mark and, sure. I don't think that that's gonna be a major issue. Some of it might just be they're not aware of it. The crews are going out there,
I mean, the county cuts fish too. You know what I mean? And you can see where the county tries to go in on a fix road like that and it's messing everything up. But that's only way.
I forgot an envelope. Take me a stamp.
Yeah, I got stamps everywhere.
He did what I did.
Okay, okay.
okay, I can bring that up though.
And then the signs. I give you guys one estimate, it's the top one. We're trimming around and spraying. Now, if you guys would have us. Like, if you had guys have us do this again, we trim around the sign and spray. Now, next spring, if you had sign on the bottom, we just go ahead and spray. It's just 2 sprayings for the summer, then you don't have to trim. And that's spend money to. Because Lincoln, we're doing this in Lincoln, it's turning out really nice. And it's cost effective, because then we don't have to get so close to the sign. It's right.
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 2 times for the year, May and July. So we get a discount because May and July is gone.
Not this year.
Just check.
Not this year.
Just like he doesn't charge you every time he gets stuck.
Lauren, you gotta go. You aren't helping the situation.
Yeah, then, the other one is brushing. Now, they aren't all the roads, they're. Like we talked about last year, we tried to get you the problem roads taken care of. And we had an extra 10 hours trying to go through the town, but now these roads are really starting to grow, so this year, everything's just growing crazy.
Legs going nuts.
I got 40 hours to do these roads. Got 165 per hour with it, 2 more. 5,600. Now I did purchase a new boom mower and I can reach up 35 feet.
Well, we almost have to go ahead and get this done in some way, shape, form or another.
We're looking at close to $10,000 for the both of them.
If you guys are worried about spending money, I'd pull off on the side.
Well, I think we're gonna just talk about doing them all, because I think once we get going on it, it should be good.
Right now, we're rolling through Union right now. We'll be in Lincoln, and then if you guys go with us, we're in Lincoln, we'll be here.
How do you guys feel about it?
I don't know, I like it, I just think it's just, it's gonna save us money down the road, but that's just me.
It is.
Well, some of it is nice to be able to actually see the deer before it runs it.
Yeah, you know,
It is kind of fun to be able to stop.
I mean, especially when you're on a motorcycle, and they're there.
Oh, did you know about that?
Yeah, a little bit. Your ass puckered, you understand?
That's why ours is not basement yet.
You're smart.
All right, well. I think both of them need to be done, so me, I think we can make a motion to accept both of these proposals and get this done. And, go from there, if I can get a second.
I second that.
All right,
You wanna sign on for the next year then, for just spraying, then we can eliminate,
yes,
cutting around the signs.
Yes.
Spray it right away and be done.
because then that cost would be eliminated on the other part of it.
You eliminate 39 bucks.
Or you.
I'll just sign this, well,
Yeah.
maybe I should have a copy, maybe get her copy. of
Please
it.
make a copy of that too.
Right.
Okay,
Forget about it.
so Kevin made the motion to accept the two proposals, and the spraying for next year, so I'll sign on that line as well.
Okay.
And a second by Jason, all in favor? Aye. All opposed? Okay, hearing none, that will pass. So then I will keep this if that's okay, and I will sign these because that's staple.
Was there any, complaints or anything with ditch cutting this year?
No, actually, we got
You're-
good compliments on the
Yeah.
ditch cutting for how tall the grass was.
Mm-hmm.
So it looked really good.
Did you remember to stay away from certain places?
What?
Okay, good, I'm glad. Let me tell you, I had enough other phone calls to deal with.
And we didn't, was that a turnout road or whatever? We just.
Yeah.
Totally around it.
In Louis Road.
Yep.
Next will be why is my ditch not cut?
Well, the biggest thing too is that we keep on getting the rain. We're trying to do our damage to go as far as we can. But I ain't gonna go every 50 feet and get stuck.
Okay.
And we can do quite a bit of boom work.
Or
Thank you.
him, or both? Okay. There, 7. All right,
And then for your second cutting,
yep,
we're looking at September. Is that gonna be all right for you guys?
I think so,
Yeah, should be.
sure, sure would be nice and dull, I bet.
So this is a contract for 2025, right? No, this is. What is it? Just send a bill for all this when it's done?
Yeah. You know,
Yeah.
okay. The road work right of way, is that something that we're really ready to do? Right away?
Well, that was,
You did that. then.
did you get that,
Do you need copies of these or? Okay.
where is that thing? I believe Jessica had sent that out.
I don't know that she sent it to all of us, I don't know that I seen it, right?
Oh,
She might have just fired it over to you.
no, I sent back to, she was making an inquiry on the, I sent her the copy of the resolution and our. There is a recommendation from the group. Is that? There was a recommendation or a sample. This is our agreement. This is that, and this funding.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Have a
Yeah,
good
good
night.
night, Joe.
Yep, take care.
Good night. Sorry we couldn't help you.
No, that's okay. I don't know what else to do really. I mean,
You understood. This is environmental compliance. This thing. This I got from Jessica. And it had to do with the various entities that can be affected. What is that? So when we're going in and doing a agreeing to have them work on our ditches. Or work on our implementing the project. It's this, she set out this ordinance that Sebastopol had put in front of the for their world. And basically, she said here, she's sharing this environmental information as well as a band Sebastopol's utility accommodation that they had approved in Sebastopol. And that was last month. Utility was taken from the template that they had. And as soon as we get going in know who's going to do the work, then we can preempt any errors in the right of by upgrading our ordinance. So she had asked me for a copy of our ordinance, which I did give to her. And this had been reviewed and recommended, but I had this is when I contacted Shipley to make sure we were on board with them. And he really didn't have, he basically said, I can't do anything until we get it going forward. So I did receive your message and returned to the office. But now we're waiting for Wisconsin Volume 2 to be approved. Details in the process rules scoring is approved, well, better idea. To potentially bid in Forestville. And then he'll follow up with us. Unfortunately, everybody's in a waiting pattern at this point in time. I did not go over this in detail, but maybe I'm the only one that got that.
I think you
I don't have
probably. No, it didn't come
No,
up.
it says, you went to the chair, supervisor 1, supervisor 2. We sent that on June 28th, on June 18th.
June 18th.
June
Unless it went
18th.
to my spam, which is possible.
Yeah. Initially, it was forwarded, it was sent initially,
Did I forward that?
you did,
Okay.
it was a forward from, Teresa forwarded it, and she got it initially from Jessica Hatch. And I got it,
Because you're on the broadband committee.
because I was on the broadband committee, yeah. Well, not maybe, I wasn't, but I was.
Maybe you just didn't understand what it truly was.
Okay, what it basically is we need to revisit our existing right of way access ordinance. That's what originally started out. She started out asking for a copy of what do we have. That's our underground.
Here, yeah, I'm looking at now.
Yeah, and so therefore there are two elements to it. One is just all the environmental impacts that should be considered, and then what actually the ordinance that was actually put in place by been reviewed by a legal review, and then they adopted it months ago or two. And so she sent that out. So you forwarded that the same day you got it. You have it, you Jason?
Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
So
So maybe we want a little more time, and a little more time has to happen once the state decides how they're doling things out.
well, we still need to put in place protections for our right of way, is what it boils down.
Mhm.
So I guess we should, before it gets too far along, we should review what was done and what these two documents provide for us in a way of information, and look at our existing ordinance and then decide how do we want to adopt, how do we want to change this, maybe get a legal opinion on that. I think that's really where we have to go with this. Because just to go ahead and adopt something somebody else adopted may or may not work.
Right, and they're a little bit over the top in some of the areas up there, and I don't wanna get to the point of we don't even wanna do your stuff because it's just too much, or we're
Well,
just
they
gonna charge you to death.
with some of the they've gone away from some of their providers. And we don't want to be in that same position either. Right? Is that what you're saying?
No, what I'm saying is, if it becomes so burnt, what we're trying to do in the right way is make sure that we know where our stuff is, right? We don't just crisscross and do all kinds of goofy stuff
Right.
to wreck it for the future, right?
Right.
Because we don't know
Right.
what's next. Right, and that's
Right.
kind of the most important thing,
Right.
but sometimes when you get too far past that bridge, it's all about the snails and we can't do anything and it should cost you $8 million to do anything.
Well, I got
You know,
what you're saying.
the next company says, you know what, this is too burdensome, I don't think I wanna work with you.
Well, what they talk about in here, in this particular ordinance that was adopted by Sebastopol, was what they, like, to identify how they were gonna go about the work in the right of way. So that we don't preclude the ability to do what we already are doing in the right. And that's why we had originally adopted this ordinance, was to make sure that we could do pass-through manure lines,
Mhm.
whatever.
Mhm.
We're one of the few in the county that actually had that in place, of the municipalities. So now they have gone maybe to a greater extent than some have done.
I'm not saying there's not some good stuff,
That's the point I'm making.
that's not what I'm saying,
Okay,
if you understand.
I do.
I think we could review it, I think you could look at all on the table and say, this is a good thing, or this is not a good thing.
Right. And
And
then that review, and then replace or modify our existing ordinance, because I think we have. And we put this in place, what, in 2017?
Yep.
And it serves us well, but I think it didn't take into consideration
Right,
broadband.
even that too, it's a little short-sighted in some of the environmental impacts of some of the other plant species that are listed in this.
Well, yes. So, I've not done anything with that, but we really should be.
Okay. So
Consider,
maybe we can put that on a future agenda, or
Yeah.
label it, catch it later.
I would.
Since you said something about a species, just so you know, does the county still spray for parsnips?
My
They
daughter is
do,
fit to be tied.
but they're.
Just saying that there's parsnips on, where he was just talking about the gravel, I did my inspection, I see parsnips
And
clearly.
it's gonna get worse.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see what happened by Pam's house on Highway 32, Maplewood? We're just going up south of town on the west side. It's horrible.
Yeah.
And
Because once it
she,
goes, it just keeps going.
and she is really upset with me.
So I mean, who takes care of that?
Invasive
Invasive
species,
species group that doesn't seem to be in operation anymore,
land conservation.
land conservation, I don't know. but
Oh, yeah, we signed a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah,
Come
so
on.
do we.
Yeah,
Yeah. And yet that's not even done.
Well, that's.
So they're going down the road. Mowing.
Yep.
And they're scattering seed,
everything all over.
and it's just moving out.
Okay, so you guys don't know
Especially
anymore,
if it's hot, rainy weather.
you don't know any more on that than I know.
We're all on the same page there.
Okay. So this is the Bill Jaronic that we had talked about, so there is 2 permits that I'm gonna go and do an inspection for tomorrow. For the driveways. So with the driveways, at some point, I don't know that we do it this meeting, but I wanna look at our driveway ordinance.
Mhm.
Okay, so I have, first off, when you read some of this, it's really, it needs to be a little bit better. And
When was it?
15, it's been a long. Right, it's like a non-running sentence with no, I don't even understand what it means.
Legal jargon.
I don't think that's legal. I think it's confusing. is what it is. Anyway. I think we could just relook at that, add a few things in there, maybe look at a few other townships of good, bad, or other, right? The other thing that I have is this hasn't been done since 2015. And your fee of $20, I'm not a fee person, I'm just not, but at the same time, I do go out and inspect before you're there. And I do fill this stuff out, and I do go back and re-inspect afterward. You're not even covering the cost for your miles. There is no reason that the town is paying to do your driveways. That's goofiness. No other town should be doing that. I mean, you're gonna put in a driveway, any driveway that comes into this township, I don't care if it's on a county road or private road, I don't care. Because it could always have a house put on that thing, and fire and rescue need to be able to get in there. Or we didn't put a culvert in because we're lazy. I mean, I went down your road, I called Randy, I said, who is that guy right across the road? As the water is gushing down that road over the top of his driveway with no culvert, all this stuff. That cannot happen. I did call Thad, the county, and he's like, yeah, most municipalities, even though it's on a county road, still get a township permit. That does not go away. You just have to apply for 2 of them. Well, and I think that's what should happen, so we are aware of everything that's happening, because we're responsible for all of it. I just, I mean, there's townships up there that are very, like, I'm talking to our county, that are fairly expensive. And, you know, in the building, and we're applying for these things constantly. And yes, you might have 2 of them, you might have whatever. And sometimes it's 100, sometimes it's 125. I'm not asking for that. I don't think that. I just want to cover our costs. So my opinion is a $50 fee should cover the cost in our area to run twice in the time to take care of that. I guess with that being said, an opinion, your thoughts.
You want to rewrite it?
I'm gonna redo this
Yep.
to be a little bit clear, the ordinance itself. I will look at some different townships, which I have some in here, okay? Just let you know, and I'm not saying kind of the exact same thing we just talked about.
Mhm.
There's good and there's bad and all of them.
Mhm.
But what fits us best? That's what I would take out of there. Come back with a copy of the ordinance. Here's the old one, here's the new one, this is what this would mean or not mean.
I would
accept that.
also say that, yeah, we should revisit the ordinance and then get a legal review of that.
And I'm fine with that. Just send it over to Randy, that's
Right,
it.
yeah,
You
exactly.
know, look this over and tell me if you think there's anything that
Right.
could be tweaked.
Right.
but
Because that
then,
can save us a lot of grief.
yes, I agree, any ordinance that you're
Right.
tweak or change, or if you're just adding a little bit, well, then it's not so critical, but, and then as far as the fee, anybody feel different about that?
No, because those are very low fees.
And they haven't been visited since 2015. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I mean,
9 years ago.
how do you, you guys put enough driveways in, I mean,
Yeah, it's fine.
even there are circumstances where on the farm side, they're different than they were whenever that equipment is coming in and 30
We
foot
have
or
to have,
32
we have
foot.
to have 5 driveways.
Yes,
Yes.
where I'm saying, right now, it says like 32 or 35 feet is the max driveway. I authorize it different and I'll put on that permit because this is farm and it's gonna be, I need you not to wreck the road. I don't want the road wrecked, so I'm
Make it
okay with
wide
it.
Yeah,
Right, but again, that's some of the wording in here and some of those things, nothing in here says that you're not governing private roads or you're not governing the driveway in
Yeah.
here. None of that is in here. What's in here over and over and over is the road has to be this way for the safety, for the firemen to get in here, for all of those things to get in here. And that's really where that kind of comes down to.
Oh, I think that last ordinance was back when Jerry might have wrote that one. Only for driveways. Could have been.
So I mean, that's what I will do is I will look at this, hopefully have this done for the next meeting, this one. Okay, and then I'm assuming, if you're okay with the fee.
The fee's reasonable.
Right.
yeah.
But if
Fees
you,
reasonable,
if you get a draft, like a rough draft, you wanna.
Fire it out,
Yeah, fire
yeah.
it, so you can look it all over and
Yeah.
then, yeah.
So, and since, you know, just that there's been so many of these things going on, the fee, I'm assuming we would just settle that the next meeting when we do this thing at the same time.
It would be part and parcel of that.
Correct. But at least we can talk about it and I got an idea of where I'm heading and going and, you know, like I said, I know some of the townships up there, 125, 150, some, when you get down here, some don't care, but I don't really think they're inspecting anything. I don't think they're doing anything, and it isn't that we're just trying to cover the cost. That's all I'm trying to do.
Well, we're in a position. In some of the fees that we do charge, like with the animal, it's fixed as to how you can go about it. We have to cover our costs.
Mhm.
And we're not covering our costs on the other side of the coin,
Right,
but there's nothing.
Yeah.
Preventing us from
Sure.
covering our costs.
Okay. So I will bring that, we can kind of add that to,
Our agenda, yep.
yeah, the next meeting, okay?
Yep.
Let's see what else I got in here. So each of you got this, road improvement thing, right, for next year,
Mhm.
right? You guys got the copy of that?
Let's do that.
Yeah. So this was the $18,000 that we were, from the LRIP. Right,
Local road improvement.
local, yes. Yeah,
There was two of them.
well. They're kind of the same road, it's
No,
which one are you looking at here?
I have this one, this is Old Trigger Road,
Oh, yeah,
and then I have this one.
yeah. You're true, it's two different animals, so which one you wanna take? The little guy?
Whichever guy you wanna go.
Let's just do the little guy first.
Okay,
So this is next year's stuff. Okay,
okay.
that's what this one is, right here.
Mhm.
So, you know, we applied for our stuff and we were granted it, I wasn't gonna turn it down.
This was the,
This is gonna be east, center, and
Right.
north Kearney,
East Center North Carolina. Yeah,
basically to redo those roads.
yes.
And which in our inspections have been like,
Yep.
needing some help, to say the least.
Mhm.
So that's on the agenda, that's basically on the docket for next year, so we
So
received the
we've got
18,000, we were
18,000.
awarded. Okay, so we're gonna deal with that next year, and that's what this is basically telling you. Okay? That's the little, one.
The big one.
Now the big one, which I have questions on the big one for the group here. So, the big one is done. The bids are going to be open tomorrow morning at 10 AM. If anybody would like to come, you're more than welcome to come. That would be with Stan Tech. I have to be here. And if the bidders wanna be here, any of the board members wanna come and look at that, it's fine.
What time is this? Tomorrow?
10 AM. 10 AM.
It's a bid opening and there's a
So-
procedure that needs to be followed specifically.
Right, so what'll happen there, from my understanding, according to Skylar,
Because they just changed the law this year.
we will sit down, we will open the bids right there. You know, whatever came in, if it's only one, if it's two, if it's three, we're gonna open them.
So if I wanted to be there for that, we'd have to have a notice out, correct?
Post that as a meeting.
Well,
Right?
Yeah.
Is it a meeting now for bids?
Because two people would be,
Doing,
You'd have a-
on business.
You'd have-
here's the other thing,
Can't do that.
so when will you be?
We'll be back on
Notice.
August 14th.
So that we can pay the bid. Legally, I couldn't do it any sooner, it's just how the dates worked out, right? So that is as soon as we could have the bid opening,
Mhm.
everything according to law. So it would have been nice to just, yeah, let's look at this and do this today.
Mhm.
We can't.
I can't because of the days.
It's at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Yes,
Tomorrow?
yes. If we call an
Emergency
meeting.
meeting, 2-hour notice, get it going,
we could do it, because you're gonna be gone,
but you two guys could do it.
we could do it. We could also put you on the phone if you wanted to know what was going on and how they played out. You also need to remember the county has to be 10% less if the second bid comes in.
Correct. Yeah,
It's not even an option, that's the law, which I
exactly.
don't understand how that all works, but that's, powers
Where are you gonna do that? Here?
right here. They're coming here. Stan Tech is coming here, Scott.
So we're opening the bids for Old Krieger and,
Old Krieger and,
County line
County
road,
Line Road.
okay,
okay?
I'm gonna post a notice registering for.
Oh, okay. I'm at, well,
My hope was to get it done before the meeting, but we couldn't legally. So it's kind of a bummer, but it is what it is.
post the meeting.
Cause you had to do the
Yeah.
newspaper thing, I mean, this is the whole big process.
There's-
I just am gonna delay what I have to
Are you
do.
sure?
I
Because
can't,
then,
I gotta bring my mom to her eye appointment.
yes, because that'd be great. If you can do that, but I mean,
Will you be?
I'm
here?
gonna be here.
I'll be here, you'll be here,
Yeah, without a doubt.
get it posted.
Okay, post, yeah,
And, send it to me quick tonight.
yep, I'll do it tonight, so we have
Okay.
it, and then we can get it.
So that's the one with the big grant money. So then my next question is, obviously this is gonna happen, it's gonna happen this year because that's all part of the agreement. Where do we start to borrow the money because the state will pay us our part back? But you gotta pay the entire bill before they pay
We
you.
aren't gonna pay the bill till we got to work.
Well, correct, I got, it. But my point is how long is this an easy thing? Where does those
It's
funds come
quick.
from?
It's quick.
So it's not a big deal.
We're going to probably go to the Bureau of Public Lands. It's a one-page application. And the approval is, how quick is it? Is that real fast? And, cause Ruth looked at it,
Yeah, she did.
and we could have that money within 2 weeks.
So the
So,
percentage is low on that.
and the percentages,
Yeah, well, they're not gonna bill us until it's done anyway, you know, that's all, but
Yeah, but the money, I think the interest was pretty decent on
At
that.
the time, I mean,
Yeah, I
I
don't
don't
know
wanna
what it'll
say
be
too
now,
much, but it was like 2%.
but that
That was
was
wild.
a while.
Yeah.
It's up now.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, we
There's
get the
money
money,
available.
we can get it when we need
Yeah.
it, if we need it.
Right.
well, I think
It
you're gonna
depends
need,
on the
timing, you're talking like.
I
160 or something, yeah.
understand that. But as at the time we need to get it, we make that application, we pay whatever rate we pay, and be done. Now, our department did things differently, because you got a good rate before you had to pay your bill, you were getting a CDs and you were earning interest on the thing.
Mhm.
That's a different approach than what we're dealing with
For more
here.
than what we.
Right. It just made sense.
Right, so we wait until we have to borrow.
Yeah, but I didn't know if this is a long process.
No,
No,
it is
but
not.
you should look at the application, make sure something
Right,
hasn't
right,
changed.
right.
Yeah.
So-
Get an application from the Bureau of Public Lands.
Is that something,
I do, right? Yeah,
yes,
okay,
that you
yeah,
could at least
yeah, I'll look into
look
that.
into, right?
Yeah.
And
The
then obviously,
application is a one or two page deal, it's
Okay,
pretty
and
straightforward.
if we can get the funds in a short time like they're saying, no problem.
It is, that is a very rapid,
Okay,
and it has historically.
I
been.
got that notice.
all right. So that's what I have on that one. The storm damage was, a fairly decent amount of damage. Right, we were on Carnet, we had some. We had down the end of your road, where the gravel was, it kind of washed out. We had to bring some gravel and regrade. Is the next one Cherry? Is that the next one down
Nile,
Nile?
I know.
That's where we just did a piece of blacktop there.
That's-
or Nazi, sorry, it's
Nazi,
Nazi, yeah.
Not, we just did that brand new stretch of blacktop.
Yep.
So on the, you had two culverts, which you couldn't see the second one with the water that was coming in the waterfall. And it basically washed the entire shoulder out on the other side. So the county came in and, I mean, basically immediately, I mean, as soon as the phone calls were going, Jason and I were both looking and running and assessing, because it was not very good to say the least. So we put breaker run down and then gravel to save that shoulder, so the road, I mean, right to the edge of the black, from there down, it was like, nothing.
Yeah,
So it's
so they
like-
did that. They were
Yes,
quick. They had to
immediately,
do it
I mean,
fast
I
as
was on the
possible.
phone immediately
Well,
to
yeah.
Bad and whatever else, and they were like, we're here, we're in that area, we'll hit this one, and we'll just keep right on going, which other one problems you have. There was some washout, from Baldwin's field, but Tyler took care of pretty much all of that, which was awesome. Cause I was gonna call and tell him, you gotta get your drone out of the ditch.
Yeah, I seen that, that was all.
Yeah, so he did a nice job there. I think he had Ross come in and do whatever he needed to do.
Yeah.
Like, he's still on this side of the driveway, but we'll see. A little bit there. As we got down toward the dam, the handrail or the guardrail was loose because the water was washing over the top of the road, and if, you had those big pavers that held all that stuff in, well, they put ground there, but rain took the little stones away from the big stones, so you could just shake that. They fixed that right away. I addressed that culvert that you actually went down into the ditch line. When you look from the top, you cannot see it. You have to actually get into the ditch. And that culvert is getting washed out on the two sides
Oh,
of the culvert. So I brought that up to the county. And they are gonna re-talk to Parks and Rec to see if cause what they wanna do is tie one in the whole way, which makes all the sense in the world. And fill in the little hole, so it's just level from the trail to the road. You know what I mean? Cause it's nothing but a.
Right.
But they weren't on board with doing it at that point in time, but now with the partial washout and the washout that happened on County U, he said
they,
it's possible that. Now they might be willing to put something forth, so it's something in works. Down, where was that, by the cemetery, we had washout more and help save us a little bit there, all the gravel was on the road, and then the county went back and refilled in by the cemetery, right, is that Carter?
oh, you're talking about kind of force it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
But still take a look, there's still
there's still a little bit on the far side.
in the southeast corner. Yeah,
Hmm,
the cemetery corner itself, there's still a washout in the grass area, not right along the blacktop.
oh,
That's only gonna, happen again.
Emma Harmon called and was upset that all of her hostas she planted in the ditch washed away. But that's really not the township concern, because it really should be nothing in the right of way. So that was that, and then there was another water issue. What was that gentleman that had called? Was it a Tom Buchanan?
over on Sloan Road?
Yeah, so where the culvert goes,
Maple,
Maple Road.
Maple.
like the culvert should be bigger. But I don't know that we have dollars to invest in that. This go around when we're looking at some of these big roads that we got big projects we're trying to do. I mean, it works. It didn't work with 5 inches of rain in a couple hours,
Well, it's not gonna work.
but I think it can be on our radar to assess. And when we do something with that road, let's put a bigger one in or put 2 of them in or something of that
Right.
nature
To handle it.
to handle the flow. I just don't think we have the funds right now to throw money at that particular thing, because it's not often that we have
That much.
this kind of a challenge, I guess. I don't know if the word.
Oh, you only do.
Right, and I mean, the storm. When we'll see how it all plays out with the girls' work, but I don't know at this point in time, so. That was what we did during the storm thingy. Was there any other ones that you
What
did?
about that bridge? On the-
Oh, yes, thank you. So the bridge. So the county and I are in agreement that the bridge should just become culvert. Okay,
Okay, that's a concrete culvert.
yeah, gonna be a normal culvert. Cause there's not that much water that flows through it. So immediately after the storm, I went over there. I took pictures. I took pictures on my watch with the water. So you can see the time of the day and all the good stuff like that. And there really was nothing there held up. There was nothing anywhere. Then when you look down the creek where that rock is all clean, I mean, you only had a 3-foot culvert could handle that easily.
Hmm.
So, soil and water is the one that has the issue. So Stantec, since we're dealing with them on this project, right, I said, I need you to look at that, because you're gonna have an engineer's stamp on this. He's gonna look at that, and when he comes, hopefully we can get an answer here shortly. To do the culvert, because if we can get to a 3.5, 4-foot culvert, whatever. The county will pay for half of that. Right? But this is all a process to make happen. So we would have been rolling on that already moving forward. If soil and water wouldn't be bucking me as much as they're bucking, but we'll get it done. It's just gonna take a little time. Cause not only that, then you can widen that thing a little bit,
Yeah,
period. Get those rails where they need to be instead of this little, what is that thing?
skinny bridge.
The death trap.
Well, nuts.
Well, yeah, but it's very old.
It's
It's
old.
too narrow for
Well, yeah,
today's.
it is.
I mean, we had horse and buggy, we'd be okay, but we're beyond that. There's no Amish right here. So that's what's going on with that,
Okay,
the culvert and the bridge replacement, still more to come.
Okay.
As we roll through. And I think that was it. This was the access right away. Anything else you guys have as far as road work you wanna go through? All right,
well, what about, well, between Mill Road and Highway? Dipsy
oh, it's on his docket. He's got it on his thing to get done.
We
Yeah,
don't have any idea.
no,
Okay,
no, when they're there or whatever, you know, he'll get it. They're gonna cut it out, dig it out and fix it. Yeah. Yeah, and I also told them, I think they were gonna fill in, there was a pothole as I was going through the stuff that came right from the dam site. As soon as you come up that parking lot, it was pretty decent. So I did not go back there and check, but as I roll around here and do some of the other investigations on that driveway
Needs to be
thing,
paid.
Yeah.
it should be
Yeah, it's like
packed in.
$50 for scale.
All right, payment of bill.
You're signing. I have a thing that came from, I got stuck in my folder and forgot about. Came about the tax collection. They're upping it. Last year was $1.43 per parcel. This year it's gonna be $1.51 per parcel, billable parcel. We just have to sign this and get it back to them saying, yes, we're all on board, whatever. But there's one in here, it's a
I just. Hang on, yep, she's talking, yeah.
okay. I'm sorry,
it's okay.
but we're just past two
Yeah,
checks across. the
Just
river.
because we were having problems with ACH,
Refunds,
yeah,
you couldn't make it that way, you had to issue this, we're not gonna end up
Right.
with a double refund in this case.
no.
Nothing's come through. You said, did you send it?
For
Or
that
did you
Laura
not?
Hartwell,
Yeah,
yeah,
and
nothing came through, so that's why we're doing a refund. And then same
Okay.
thing with that Jose, that's back from June.
Okay,
We tried sending it through and it doesn't go through, so
Okay.
then we.
Only
do
one did,
refunds.
one went through.
Yeah, so far one.
Where is this? 851 South. Or County S, 851. This is
Isn't it that,
Shane Noah.
I don't know who that is.
The only reason I'm asking this, your pulling permits wasn't an existing driveway. Well, but it'd be County S. At this point, there's no difference. In the count.
Hmm.
See what I'm saying? I mean, the other ones I know, and I went and checked one.
There's a new foundation says 851S,
Mhm.
Isn't that one house,
that would be in our company.
that
Yeah.
heavy guy,
Oh, there is a
David
driveway.
Jones?
that
County,
guy?
yes.
Is it
Sure,
his
because I
house?
know there's a driveway there because
Yep.
the other ones wouldn't allow
Davy
it to,
Jones.
Yep.
Yeah,
you
That's
know.
what that is, Davy Jones.
It's a new owner.
Yeah, somebody bought that place.
Lucky them.
Oh, really? He's gone?
Baby Jones?
Yeah.
See it, I guess.
What about, fire numbers? Who do we contact to
That
get?
is the county.
Because someone called me and I haven't gotten back to them yet.
I sent them up, I sent them. If you sent me that message, there was another one with a fire number. You have got to get a hold of the county. We do
Okay.
not issue fire numbers. There's, well, that
They were
would be
just wondering,
land use
'cause-
services or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, it's,
Everyone's supposed to be getting new fire numbers.
Okay, so
They are so funny.
who do I contact?
No, no.
That's been going on
It
for
was
14
there
years.
was in the county board's budget, that the whole county's supposed to be
Who
getting
do I
new fire numbers.
contact?
it's been that way for how many years now?
But it was passed this last year's
Should be
budget.
the highway department, wouldn't it? Maybe the highway department?
For what?
For
Fire
the
number?
fire number.
Nope, nope.
No,
Who do I tell them to contact?
No,
I
it's
do
not the
know,
highway
like, you have to go to like land
GIS,
services or.
land services or
Yeah.
GIS,
Okay.
something like that.
okay.
And
He
Roy
called me.
provided us with some a name of a person of contact.
You know, Jan would know,
Okay.
cause she has to call their.
Someone called me. I can't remember the name. Oh, a new fire number, so.
This is his.
Fred truck.
That would be Joe's from, is it Ford,
Yeah.
a vintage Ford.
This is we tried doing ACH for the refund too, and it just didn't work. So
That's just talking that girl off then.
Yeah, probably.
this goes to. Please.
Oh, that's right.
That's the thing.
Garbage collection bill.
Okay, anyway, we have to sign, are we okay to sign this, send this in, this
I'm sorry, I interrupted.
governmental agreement, the tax collection?
Well, we have to.
You have to, because
We're gonna,
Okay, so then it asks, it says each party is responsible for designated employee or official contact person who is responsible for administration of this agreement. Do I put my name in there?
it's Kevin.
Or is it Kevin's
one
name?
Is
should
it the
be-
last page?
Yeah,
Kevin Lawrence, last page, yeah.
I don't think you gotta sign it, I think you just gotta put his name in, he can put his
Okay,
name,
yeah.
email, and,
Yeah,
That's for the collection of
Yeah.
taxes, funded by the county treasurer.
yeah.
So you guys can keep that segment.
was he supposed to sign this one too, and I signed it? Municipality, town of Forestville?
You sign in 2 spots and Kevin does them one. So, yeah,
I signed two spots, then I found one spot.
that's what is that?
Oh, municipality, ask for your municipality name. Yeah, that's for your savings and your. okay. Assuming it's right, if it isn't, Brian will let me know.
Yeah. Is that this, is intergovernmental agreement, yeah. Just you sign and Kevin sign.
Yep.
Okay, well then, yeah.
It's your turn. But it's Kevin supposed to sign, was he supposed to sign here?
Yeah. And then you sign. These
Sign
2
where?
spots, there and there, just put your name in.
that one can go back.
Maybe we better, wait, we
Maybe that's
get this. I don't know, maybe we got it wrong.
Fumble.
Because your
May have
name
gone
just goes
back.
there, and then if that Kevin signs there.
So I had my name, so I put town of Forestville.
Yep.
Right,
On number 20. 22, yep. And then your name, yep. And then on the back, did you have Kevin sign?
no, I signed, so
Oh.
Kevin should sign that, right?
I guess it doesn't matter.
We'll have Kevin sign that one, we'll send it here. I don't think I have to sign any of it.
Yeah. You just put your name to show you're the contact person.
Oh, so I should have been on here.
You're the contact for
Yeah,
the
yeah.
treasurer,
Yeah,
and the intergovernmental agreement is agreed to by the
Okay,
Yeah.
chair.
so the
Yeah.
other, so that other part, whatever you have there,
but it's printed.
this should be me.
Yes.
Okay,
Okay, thank you. Just take it. And then we'll continue, yep. Yeah. Cause I was confused about that. I didn't realize we had to do something with that, and then I forwarded
This
it
is
to you.
something,
to
what
see.
if you would go away from the deposit down on the town hall?
Of the security
Yeah,
deposit,
what if we went away
Well, then,
and charge more?
and just charge?
well, I'm just saying that to rent this place, that is like,
It's cheap.
it's
Yeah.
crazy. It's
Yeah.
crazy, I
You
mean,
just approved everything else is going up. You know?
I'm just saying, I
It's
mean,
crazy.
look at the building, look at the facilities, we keep them up, we take care of everything, it
Yeah.
isn't like,
Tax collection, they're jacking you up.
Yeah,
I know, I'm thinking we should increase the rental too.
Maybe that's something we need to bring up.
and then.
I don't know, just
Just
looking
like
at
the
it.
Maybe
one
we put
fee
that on
for-
the next
Yeah.
agenda.
Yeah,
That too.
that's what I'm saying.
Cause it's June, I think every weekend it was booked, Saturdays and Sundays.
We're getting, it's
It's-
being held.
We don't have to increase it a massive amount, but
No,
it's,
no, but even that on a.
because then, you know, look at the checks that they cut back for everything, I mean, we went away from that, just the fee is this, boom, done.
And you're required to clean it, and if not, you're gonna get penalized.
Then we can just send them a bill.
Right, because you add
know.
it to their tax, if they decide not to pay it.
Right,
I'm assuming
yeah.
it's like you would
Stuff like
anything
that.
else.
Right, yeah. Yeah, we'll discuss that at the next
I mean,
meeting.
your water is going up. You know.
Well, yeah, even when the water goes up, it's gonna be even worse.
Pass along.
Yeah, yeah.
Payment of bills, is there anything else?
Anything else? we have?
Make a motion to pay the bills, as presented.
I do, well, it could be all other matters, never know.
What's that?
I just got a thing from the
Oh.
Humane Society.
Okay,
We usually give them money anyway, I don't know.
We gave them a donation this year. Yeah.
Yeah.
To Defty,
Did we do
like that, yeah.
Standard amount.
I don't think we wanna do it again. I think one time,
We
Yeah.
usually give them an annual contribution.
yeah, yeah.
and what you're saying is we did already,
Yes, correct.
and then they resent you a second.
This, I don't know, it came,
I'm under new management though.
they are under new management, I
That's
think,
probably what
and
that
maybe it's just sent, yeah.
What if is it the Wisconsin Humane Society? And it's a
Yes.
search they can,
Yeah.
and we have given them a donation.
Yeah, so I can just
Okay.
throw it, toss it.
Yeah,
Same with the library, we do the donations to the library too.
All right, so I have a motion made by Larry, for item number 14, payment of bills, and a second by Jason, all in favor? Aye. All opposed? Hearing none, so carried. All other matters as authorized by law. Is there anything that you have, Teresa?
oh, elections are coming up, just so you know that, August 13th. So absentee ballots went out.
Are you still looking for poll workers?
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm gonna ask Lauren to be a poll worker, we'll see. So,
Well, it depends on
Yeah.
the day or whatever. I
Yeah.
mean, Emily
And-
is.
is she
Oh,
like
yeah.
a half day? Oh, I'll have to
Yeah.
get her phone number from you, so. So the week before, we'll do the testing of the ballot, so the 13th is the day, the 12th I set up the hall and everything, so. That's all ready and happening, so. If you need an absentee ballot, there's instructions on how to request one, so.
We'll have a special board meeting tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock here.
Oh, yeah, that I
For
gotta
bid
do when I
opening?
get home, yep.
Okay,
So what I have.
all right. Item number 16, announcements. You got any announcements?
Oh, special board meeting
Special board meeting,
tomorrow.
10 AM.
10 AM
For bid opening.
tomorrow at the town hall. For the bid opening for County Line Road and Old Krieger. All right, item number 17. Discuss items intended for future meetings, which I think we've added already to them, correct? Which would basically be the,
Driveway ordinance. And the increase of the town hall rental fee. We're still gonna keep road work right away, and we're still gonna keep.
yeah,
review
and the cost, driveway ordinance and cost,
Cost, yeah,
and hall rental.
yep, fee increase. And
Will
we're
we
gonna,
have more on broadband or is that just gonna come from your broadband?
Soon as I get something substantial.
Yeah,
So do
I
we
mean, I don't
still
think
wanna
they're gonna get a
leave-
lot till
No,
everything starts to
don't.
move.
Yep.
I mean, those guys are gonna stay stagnant until they know what they can or can't do. As soon as they know, then they're gonna move like crazy, so.
Yeah.
Anything else that you know that we want to throw on the future meeting?
So what I meant was like the broadband,
Right away,
right of way,
the right of way access.
yeah, do we need to bring that up next month?
Well, maybe,
Or do you just kind of keep it on the agenda and as things are rolling here,
then we
Yeah.
can
and
use.
time wise?
Visit it as need be.
Right,
Yeah.
right, you know, just touch base and then, yeah, there's nothing really this month, but maybe next month. I think that might be a good idea.
Okay.
All right, so item number 18 is the next town board meeting. Now, this has changed from the regular
Yep.
meeting. I just want, we're all on the same
We're
page
all
here.
okay with this date?
August
Just putting
20th.
it in my phone, so I
Okay,
remember.
good, Yeah,
That date looks familiar. and,
we're out of town, we're bringing Maddie to school.
Yep,
So
so it's a
that's why.
date change, and that's why I'm noting it, or else I.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if there's interference with the fair.
Fair, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize the fair was that week, so
Yeah.
I was trying
and
to keep it in the same week.
Yep.
so,
Lots of
yeah,
things going on.
Yeah.
Yes.
now.
Yeah.
So it only made sense to go
the
push
week
it
after.
later
Yeah.
because I'll be out of town, you know,
Okay.
up until, well, I could have made the third week, but nobody else can.
Okay,
That's when we're bidding on coming back.
the 24th. Yeah,
here is
Yeah.
one thing, maybe I should bring this up, that came up as far as kind of in the road section. I should have brought this in, but I see I missed my little note here. Is the cutting of those massive trees that we had talked about last time. If it is too much money and we can't meet the budget on the grant side of things, maybe the township looks at having them cut. So I asked to get an idea of what this would actually cost, and we'll talk about this more at the special meeting, but I just thought I'd bring this out now.
Mhm.
Is to have Krieger look at, could you give me an idea of what it would cost you to go and cut those trees down? So his answer to me was, cause they're big. I mean, these babies are massive
Cottonwoods.
and they're in the middle of the ditch. Okay, so it's not technically that we have to cut them down.
Right, but
But if we're doing this road, I just feel in my heart that this is the right thing to do for water flow and everything else while you're doing this.
that's on Krieger.
Correct. But because of the bid stuff and this and that, I had it put in there as an option. Well, you don't need to accept the option, but then the township would have to take care of it. So it would be $3,700 for Mark Krieger to go there, cut them all down, chip everything up from 6 to 7 inches, the logs would stay. Then we would find some neighboring person who burns wood. Maybe Bill the captain, a couple
Right,
other people that Krieger had mentioned, take the wood. I know it's not the best, but it's free, whatever, I don't care. Here you go. So I just wanted to let you, the board know that this is $3,700 is pretty reasonable. So when we look at tomorrow's
Right.
bidding process, that's why I had it in as an option, we wouldn't have to accept the option. And we can deal with it on our own, I would assume, we will authorize that. Stand tech, that it's not illegal in any way, shape, or form, I don't know why it would be,
Right.
because it would be separate, I just didn't select the option.
Yep.
Okay, other than that, that is all I have, does anybody else have anything you wanna go over? If not, I'm gonna ask for an adjournment.
I make a motion to adjourn.
I said,
All right, I have a motion for item number 19 from Jason to adjourn the meeting and a second by Larry. All in favor? All opposed? Hearing none, that will carry. The meeting is now